Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Fluctus channel. Becoming a military pilot involves a staggering amount of training. And while simulators can help, there's no perfect substitute for the real thing. For nearly 100 years, branches like the United States Air Force have relied on trainer aircraft to educate their aviators on everything from basic flight principles to advanced combat techniques. For years, the U.S. military relied on older fighter planes like the P-51 Mustang as trainer aircraft. Various versions of the Mustang, including two-seat trainers, were used to train pilots in advanced flight techniques, combat tactics, and weapon use. However, as the P-51 began to age, it evolved into more of an air show and restoration aircraft. Today, many of the surviving P-51s are used to pay tribute to the Tuskegee Airmen, America's first all-black fighter squadron, who painted their airplanes' tails red. Though they didn't know it then, this tradition would soon inspire a whole new generation of trainer aircraft. The TX project began in the early 2000s with the goal of creating a modern, capable trainer that could prepare pilots for fifth-generation fighters like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. This was the primary impetus behind the introduction of the Boeing Saab T-7 Red Hawk, an advanced jet trainer aircraft developed through a joint partnership between two major firms, one based in the U.S. and the other based in Sweden. The name of the plane, Red Hawk, is meant to honor the Tuskegee Airmen and the P-51s, which served as both crucial weapons of war and trainer aircraft for so many years. The T-7 is a single-engine, tandem-seat aircraft that almost looks ready for real combat. After the first two prototypes were tested, the T-7 was chosen by the U.S. to become its new official trainer. The T-7's development was marked by the use of numerous advanced manufacturing techniques, including extensive use of digital design and engineering tools. It also features aerodynamics and systems specifically designed to mirror the cockpit and handling characteristics of modern frontline fighter jets. One of the most important aspects of the plane's performance is its supersonic capabilities. Propeller-driven trainers were simply not capable of such speeds. Still, including a General Electric F404GE 103 afterburning turbofan ensures the T-7 can properly prepare new pilots to fly the latest and fastest military jet fighters. Production of the T-7 officially began in 2021. The highly advanced digital design process allows for precision in part fabrication, ensuring that components fit together seamlessly and eliminating the need for adjustments during assembly. This has drastically sped up the delivery process for the aircraft. According to Boeing, the company hopes to sell over 2,700 Red Hawks to air forces worldwide. In fact, It has earned such a reputation for performance that the U.S. is considering weaponizing the plane and potentially using it to replace its aging fleet of F-16s. Despite its undeniable innovations, the Red Hawk is not the first jet trainer to be utilized by the United States Air Force. Back in the 1960s, pilots learned to fly on the Northrop T-38 Talon, the world's first high-altitude supersonic jet trainer. In fact, despite having its first flight back in 1959, the T-38 remains in use today. While its primary role is to train fighter and bomber pilots, the T-38 has also been used for reconnaissance training, test pilot school, and astronaut training by NASA. Its twin General Electric J85 5A afterburning turbojet engines give it a top speed of Mach 1.3, which is comparable to some of today's fighter jets. The U.S. Air Force is by no means committed to one single method of training. Over the years, its leaders have invested in hundreds of different training vehicles and forms of equipment in an effort to ensure their pilots can handle any situation with confidence. In the early 2000s, the government established Pilot Training Next, which harnesses advanced technology and cutting-edge training methodologies to improve and speed up pilot education. Aside from using actual trainer aircraft, PTN also incorporates specialized simulators for a wide variety of aircraft, including the T-38. Like any other military or commercial aircraft, the T-38 requires regular maintenance to perform as expected. This is even more important in the case of the Talon, due to most aircraft being between 50 and 70 years old. Fortunately, the T-38 has received multiple upgrades to enhance its capabilities over the years. These include avionics improvements, structural enhancements, and engine upgrades. These later models are referred to as T-38As. The Air Force has plans to eventually replace the T-38 with the T-7A Red Hawk at as many facilities as possible. However, the T-38 is expected to remain in service until the transition is complete. Despite being a trainer, the T-38 even had the honor of serving as the aircraft for the Thunderbirds from 1974 to 1982. The Thunderbirds are the Air Force equivalent of the Blue Angels and are tasked with performing aerial demonstrations and precision flying to promote the Air Force's mission and support recruiting efforts. For decades, the squadron has been highly revered for skilled pilots, tight formations, and complex maneuvers during air shows. The switch to the T-38 in 1974 was part of a broader effort within the Air Force to keep demonstrating precision and teamwork, but in a more cost-effective manner, reflecting the economic and fuel constraints of the era. As important as standard aircraft operation is, there are situations some pilots will encounter that require specialized training. One of the most crucial of these is learning to take off and land from an aircraft carrier. In fact, these two processes are considered among the most challenging aspects of naval aviation, requiring precise skills, rigorous training, and significant adaptability from pilots. For landing, pilots must land on a short stretch of the deck and catch one of several arresting wires with a tail hook. This allows the plane to rapidly decelerate and stop before running out of the runway. It is such a difficult process to master, where most practice is done on land at specially equipped airstrips. But even then, expensive aircraft must be put at risk in order to train aviators properly. This was one of the main reasons for the development of the McDonnell Douglas T-45 Goshawk. Introduced in 1988, the Goshawk is a U.S. Navy version of the British BAE Systems Hawk, meaning it has been tailored for carrier-based operations, including catapult launches and arrested recoveries. Like other training jets, the T-45 is smaller than most jet fighters and much less expensive to produce. Nonetheless, its ability to simulate the handling characteristics of frontline Navy jets, like the F/A-18 Hornet, makes it an essential tool in training future naval aviators. In fact, the Goshawk has undergone several major upgrades over the years to enhance its capabilities and training effectiveness. '45C variant, for example, includes a glass cockpit with digital avionics similar to those found in modern frontline combat aircraft. It was also one of the first aircraft of its type to complete a flight using biofuel. The biofuel flight in question marked a significant step towards the U.S. Navy's goal of integrating more sustainable fuels into its operations, aligning with broader efforts to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and minimize environmental impact. The U.S. Navy has been exploring the use of biofuels as part of its Great Green Fleet initiative, which aims to demonstrate the Navy's ability to operate on alternative fuel sources. Trainer aircraft exist to help ensure that pilots of all backgrounds are properly prepared to perform their jobs. That's why it's so important to update trainers frequently, so that they function as closely as possible to the jets these pilots will be flying in day-to-day operations. It's no mistake that the T-45 bears a striking resemblance to the Harrier AV-8B, though it lacks vertical takeoff and landing capabilities. Today, the T-45 continues to be a cornerstone of U.S. Navy and Marine Corps aviation training, providing a critical step in the development of capable carrier-based pilots for the United States. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of our new content. See you next time.